Recording first. Okay. So welcome to the webinar on application of Python in data science. Actually, in this webinar, we are going to see the firstly what meant by data science, because I think you are the students of second year. So how many of you are students of second year? Just type me in your chat box. Yeah. If you are from second year, just type me in the chat box. If you are from third year, just type PE, third year. Yes. Kirti Yadav, Ayush Shinde. Yeah. Ayush Shinde is from second year. Kirti Yadav is from second year. Okay. So remaining students. Okay, so I want the actively participation in this webinar actually, because in this webinar you are going to learn the lots of things. So total 1 hour we are going to engage, and in this 1 hour actually you will get a lots of knowledge regarding to the data science, and you will have we will also solve some myths that you are carried out regarding to the data science and the Python. Okay, so let's start. So first we will see this topic. So what do you mean by data science? Okay, so anyone of you know that what do you mean by data science? Have you ever heard this word data science? You are the students of the computer engineering. So tell me, what do you mean by data science? Or firstly, what do you mean by data? So what is a data? Data is a information. Okay, so and what is the data science? So anyone of you? Because actually I don't know what is your study level. So your answer, if your answer is correct or if your answer is also wrong, that is also okay. So first tell me, what do you mean by data science? Okay, anyone? If you don't know the data science, then just type don't know in the chat box so that I can move forward. Okay, so if you don't know, actually I will be exploring this data science in front of you. Yeah, you're very good. Mimans
The data
Srivastava.
science is a
Yeah,
is
is
a
a
branch
branch of science. Yes.
of computer science where we play with algorithms to extract information.
Yes. We extract the information, but what type of extract information we are extracting? Hmm? It is a actionable insights. Okay, so whatever the important insights of that in that particular data, that actionable insights we are exploring. 1 minute. Okay. So if you have the very big data, consider that you have the data of suppose 5 to 6 years or nearly about 10 years. And if you count that data, it is in terms of the crores. But that you are not able to handle all the data, or you are not getting that what is the meaning of that data. So what the data science is doing, the data science is extracting the some meaningful insights from the raw data. So whatever the big data is there, we will that clean the data, and we will see that what is inside that data, and any useful information we will extract from that data, and using that information actually we will do something. Okay, and what are that something? The somethings are called as a application. Okay, so yes, correct, it is a very simplest definition of data science is that it is an extraction of actionable insights from the raw data. Okay, now what are the application? There are different application. Actually these are not a limited application. I have only mentioned some of the application of the data science. You can read it out very simply: identify and predicting the disease. Yeah, actually in healthcare this data science are playing a very major role during this corona. Actually that data science engineers are having the more work than the other software engineers, because every day whatever the data coming from the world, actually that has to be analyzed, and after analyzing they are predicting that after 1 month or after 2 months or after 6 months what are the actually number of patients increasing or decreasing. So they see the what are the patterns in the data, and depending on that patterns actually the government is taking some decision, that is lockdown has to be done or lockdown has not to be done, in what area the strict lockdown and in what area there is a loose lockdown has to be done. So that all the actually applications of the data science. Okay, the next application is the personalized healthcare recommendation. Okay, so generally we are using the healthcare gadgets like your watch is there that you are wearing every day, and that will monitoring your health issues like how much actually steps you are walking, what is your heart rate, what is your bp. Okay, so all these things are get monitored continuously, and according and using that data actually some recommendation will be thrown to your emails or to your through the messages. Okay, so suppose depending on suppose your health bp is always low, so some recommendation systems are through you are recommending to you that you should use this type of the medicines, and you should use this type of gadget to increase your bp. Okay, so that type of the recommendation generally we are using in a healthcare. Then the next application is the optimizing the shipping routes in the real time. Okay, generally what happen, suppose you order something and you order something from Mumbai. Okay, to reach that item from Mumbai to Indore actually there are the several routes are there. Now which routes has to be taken by that particular courier, then that has to be done by using this algorithm. Okay, so these are generally the FedEx and the that Amazon is also using these algorithms to 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 optimize the shipping routes. Okay, suppose there are 10 to 5 hundreds of the couriers are there, and they wants to deliver that hundreds of courier to the different destination. So what is the best route, what is the best route to deliver the 100 couriers within a very short duration of time? So that has to be actually achieved by using the some machine learning algorithms. Okay, the next application is getting the most value out of the saucer roasters. Okay, so in a games actually also we are using saucers, footballs. Okay, so these are some games actually using which they are feeding some data to the model, and that model will tell that at what time actually your goal is there. Okay, football goal is there. Okay, and the next slew of the world class athletics, some athletics are running, and suppose and depending on the previous data of that athletics or what is the actually time at what time the athletics are slowing in the path. Okay, so that has to be predict by using this algorithm. Okay, so again stamping out the tax fraud. Okay, so millions of peoples are actually filling their tax returns in India as well as in the world actually. So out of that millions actually only the 2 to 5% of the peoples are get inquired. So which people has to be inquired, that has to be decided by some machine learning algorithms. Okay, they are monitoring the all the previous data of that particular taxpayer, and they are actually suggesting to the that tax officer that this is the list that has to be actually tested, and this is the suspected list, that this suspected list of the taxpayer. Okay, automatic digital ad placement. Okay, so suppose if I'm placing my I want to place my digital ad on some social platform. Okay, so at what is the best suitable time, what is the best suitable time for that digital ad, that is actually being you can find out by using some algorithms actually. So that is the one of the application of data science. Okay, algorithm that helps you to find the love. Okay, so if you want to do anything, so what is the best algorithm actually that that has to be used by, in your case, that that is also the one of the application of data science. So predicting the imprisonment rent. Okay, so what amount of the actually persons are going into the prison, so that is being predict depending on again the previous data. Okay, so and many more applications are there. So this is all regarding to the your data science. So we'll move towards the next topic, and that topic is the how does the data science works. Okay, how does data science works? So if you want to get into the field of this data science actually, or if you want to work as a data science engineer, then what are the steps has to be carried out by the data science engineer actually we will going to see here. So very first one is the data acquisition. Okay, so data acquisition. So in a data acquisition means getting the data, okay, from the different sources. Okay, so if you have a if you want if you have if you want to solve a problem from the world actually, what uh, is first you require the past experiences. And what is the past experience? The past experience is nothing but the data. Okay, so very first thing, if you want to solve anything, then you require the data, and where from you getting that data? The data can be acquired by using the from the web servers. Yeah, web servers are continuously storing the data. They are they are storing the data, and some logs are there. Using that logs actually you are also getting the data. They in a databases, what are the transaction that we are doing, that all the transaction in case of the financial transaction or any case of the transaction, all the transaction is storing into the database, and you can get the data from the databases also. Okay, some APIs are there. Using that APIs we are getting the data in terms of the JSON also. And some online repositories are there. That repository contains some previous data. Okay, and using that data actually we are making a model. Okay, so what is the first step for solving the problems in a data science? The first step is the getting the data, and that step is called as a data acquisition. The next is the data preparation. Now data preparation means, suppose you have the data, you get the data. Now that data is a raw data. Okay, what is the data type in that particular attributes you don't know. Okay, so you have to prepare the data for the analysis. So the next step is the data preparation. In a data preparation actually the main two things are there. The very first thing is the data cleaning. Okay, so you have to clean the data. So what do you mean by clean the data? Actually you are not washing the data there. You are cleaning the data means it is the most important and the time consuming process. In a most of the times actually you are getting consumed in the data cleaning. And what is this? The data cleaning is nothing but the, if your data is having some inconsistent data type, suppose some integers values they are storing, but that integers value you have stored, your data has been stored as a string. Because you know that while storing your data in your database, the most preferred the data type is the string data type. So whatever our data is there, the in terms of suppose integer is there, and that data we're storing in a data type as a string. But using the string data types actually we cannot apply some average operation, we cannot apply some mathematical operations on the string. So first thing is, whatever the type of that data, inconsistent data types, we have to modify to the our usable data type. Okay, so whatever the string data type, actually it is an integer, but it is stored in terms of the string that we are converting into the integer data type. Okay, so inconsistent data type is the first major problem in your data cleaning. The second one is the misspell attributes. Okay, misspell attribute. What storing our data actually, suppose some user has entered the data as a misspell. Oh, he has misspelled it. So whatever the misspell attributes, you have to remove it. Okay. So you have to first identify that what are the attributes are there, and that has to be misspelled. You have to identify that. After identifying it, you have to correct it. so so this is the most time consuming process. Missing values are also there. Suppose while entering the data, actually some fields are not mandatory. So what the users are generally doing, some mandatory fields are they are not entering. They are only entering the no, they are only entering the mandatory field, and not mandatory fields they are not entering. Okay, so compulsory fields it's only having, but some not compulsory fields are there, some users are entering and some users are not entering. So that missing values data you don't require actually. So that's why whatever the missing value, that missing value has to be replaced by what, that has to be decided by yourself. So all the missing values data you are vanishing, or the average value of your data you are placing into that missing value, that has to be you have to take a decision there. Okay, so this is again the one of the consuming time consuming method process. The next one is the duplicate value. Okay, so some data is there, the all the data is similar, so there are duplicate entries are there. Okay, so you have to remove that duplicate entry, because if there is a duplicate entries are there, and if the same data you are providing to your model, then your model is not going to perform well, because it requires some, it require your model requires the genuine data, and it is not unique data. So unique data, not unique, it requires a unique data. So that's why whatever the duplicate entries in your data, actually you have to remove it. So this is the very important method before entering into the data modeling. Okay, so data cleaning is the most important and the time consuming. Actually, while doing the projects, actually I'm actually I require the 2 to 3 days for only viewing the data, and after 2 or 3 days I am deciding that what types of the cleaning it requires, and for cleaning I am taking the 2 or 3 days more. Okay, so it is the most time consuming because if you have the clean data, then you can use that data effectively. Okay, so the next data preparation method is the data transformation. The data transformation is nothing but the modifies the data based on the defined mapping rule. Okay, suppose there are the two attributes are there, and for applying to the model, actually you don't require that two attributes. Okay, but you require the average of the two attributes. So whatever the modification in that data, actually you have to apply on that data. So suppose 3 to 4 attributes are there, and that you 3 to 4 attributes, processing that 3 to 4 attributes is more uh, it requires the more time than the processing only single attribute, which is the average of that 5 attributes. Okay, so that's why whatever the decision that you are doing, that is totally depending on the model, actually what the complex, how complex models you are defining. Okay, so what the data transformation is, it modifies the data based on the defined mapping rules. So this rules you are defining, and that rules will modifies the data. So there are some tools are there, ready-made tools are there. You can also define your rule also, but some ready-made tools are there, just like Talent and the Informatica. Using these tools, actually you can also modify the data, because there is some mapping rules are already been provided in that tool. Okay, so this is the data preparation. The next actually the next process is the exploratory data analysis. Okay, now you have the data, you get the data from the different sources, you clean the data, now you have the clean data. Now you want to explore that data. Exploring means getting some meaning from that data. Okay, so what do we exploratory data analysis? It defines and refines the selection of the feature variable that will use in the model development. Okay, so suppose there are the in a first, actually in a data acquisition, there are the 50 attributes are there, and out of the 50 attributes, you think that only 10 attributes are useful for making a model. So in a data cleaning, actually you remove all the model attributes, you are only taking the 10 attributes in the data. Now in that exploratory data analysis, out of the 10 attributes, what are the 2 or 3 features variables that has to be used to make a model? Okay, so it defines and refines the selection of the feature variables. So actually it select the feature variable. That is the meaning of exploratory data analysis. It is a very important step, because if you are not selecting the proper feature variables, then it will result into the selection of the inaccurate model. So what are the feature variable will actually leads to the selection of the accurate model. So this is the most important steps in the development. Actually it requires hardly 10 to 15 minutes to select the feature variable, because the day if you have done your data preparation yourself, the exploratory data analysis require only 10 to 15 minutes, because only 2 or 3 commands you have to actually execute, and using that actually you will get that what are the effective feature variables, and that feature variables has to be used in the model development. Okay, so this is the most important. If you skip this step, actually the data modeling will not work, sometimes it will not work. So this is the again most important one. The next one is the data modeling. Okay, data modeling. So what is the meaning of data modeling? We'll see first. It applies the machine learning technique to identify the model that best fits the business requirement. Okay, so in your data modeling, actually your coding actually started. Okay, your coding started actually. So in a data modeling, we'll apply the different machine learning techniques. So there are different machine learning techniques. We apply the one by one machine learning techniques, and we will identify that which model is the best fits for our business requirement, which gives the accurate results while testing. Okay, and what are that particular machine learning techniques? The first one is the k nearest neighbor, okay, KNN algorithm. The second one is the decision tree algorithms, and the neo base is the third one. Okay, so there are lots of one, but these are the 3 majorly used machine learning algorithm. So which algorithm is the best one to apply to the model to to identify that this model, this decision tree is the best fit, or neo base is best fit, or KNN is the best fit. Okay, so and after deciding that which is being applying KNN, decision tree, or neo base, suppose you have decided that decision tree is the most best fit model for my data, so we will train the data. Okay, so we will train the data, we will train the model, we will train the model on a training data set. Generally what happened, whatever the data set with us, actually suppose we have the 100 entries in our data, so we'll segregate it as a 70-30. Okay, segregate or on a 70-30 or 60-40. So 70-30 train data, and 70% is train data, and the 30% is test data. And we will first train our model by using the 70% data set, and we will test out that model using that 30%, and we will test that what is the amount, what is the percentage result, what is the percentage result you are getting there. Okay, so you are getting the 99% result accurate, or the 98% or the 90%, and depending on that actually we will again do the reverse thing. Suppose decision tree, if you are applying the KNN algorithm, and if you are getting the test on a test database, if you are getting the 70% of the result, then you are applying the decision tree, you are getting the 90%, and if you apply the neo base, you get the 98%. So which one is best fit? The neo base is the best fit algorithm for this for your modeling. Okay, so whatever the data set is there, we're applying that data set to that model, train and the test, and we are getting the result there. So which will resulting the selection of the best performing model. Okay, so this data modeling, the data modeling This can be done using the various programming language. So as we are here to discuss about the Python actually, but we must know that what are the different programming language can be used for this data science. Okay, and that modeling languages are the very first one is the Python, which is a trending one. Second one are R language, that is also the trending one, and the SAS language is also there. There is again one more language that is known as a Julia. Okay, so these are the four languages actually that languages are being used in the uh, programming data modeling of your data science. Okay, so are you getting this? Are you with me? Just type with me in your chat box. Just type with me. If you are getting all the things that I am telling to you, just type with me in your chat box. So at least the 10 with me I should get. Yeah, Shubham, Vimans. Yeah, what about other students? Okay, so the next one is the visualization. Okay, so first step we have done as a getting the data. Second one is your to prepare the data for the cleaning. We have done the cleaning. Yes, yeah, thank you, Droni, Abhishek, Amit, Madhu, Vikas, Shubham. Yeah, thank you. The third step we have done as an exploratory data analysis. The fourth one as we have done as a data modeling. So we have the model with us. We have the model with us. Okay, now that model we can give to our customer. Okay, the data engineer generally do design the model, and that model is has to be deliverable. Okay, but before delivering this model to the customer, actually there is one more step is there, and that is known as a visualization. Because whatever the actually result you are coming from the model, and that is the in terms of the only data. Okay, so only numbers are there, some numbers are there. So but the customer doesn't understand that numbers, so that's why we must visualize the data. Whatever the result we are getting from our model, that has to be visualized. Okay, so that's why we are making the visualization. So it helps to create the powerful reports and the dashboard. Okay, using the dashboard actually we are actually getting the meaning of that data. Okay, uh, so you know that what is dashboard? The COVID dashboard is the famous one that most of the companies had done the COVID dashboard. So they are continuously updating the result. There, what are the how many COVID patients are increasing, and what is the probable patients increase numbers that has they are mentioning into their dashboards actually. So the different tools that is being used in the visualization is the Tableau. Okay, this is the mostly used tool. Okay, Tableau. Power BI is the second tool for the general visualization, and the click view is these are not the three only three visualization technique. There are the lots of visualization tools are there, but I have mentioned only three of them. Okay, so visualization, from the visualization actually you are get a meaning of that data. You are getting the meaning of your result. So whatever the result is there, you can get the meaning using the visualization easily. Okay, so next one is the deployment and the maintenance. So after visualization, if your customer is satisfied, then the next part is the deployment. Okay, so what the deployment means? The deployment of a model in a pre-production environment for a testing, and then final deployment in a production environment. So any model actually you have done, actually it is not deployment in a directly in a production environment. So they are implementing that model, they are deploying their model in some testing environment. They do some beta testing, some random testing they are doing in terms of the suppose 2 weeks or the one month. And after beta testing, if it is successfully running, then the final deployment in the production environment is being done. Okay, So after final deployment means, in case of the web apps, actually the web apps deployment has to be done. And in after deployment, suppose if the deployment has been done and your app is in a running mode, okay, so after deployment your data engineer, what is the last part of the data for the data engineer? It is a maintenance. Okay, so it is, after deployment, the data engineer keep tracks of the live data analysis using the dashboard and the reports, and in case of any queries, maintain it. Getting it? So in case of any in case of any problems come, then they will maintain that one. Okay, so it is not the one time job that just design your software and that deliver that software to the customer and that's it. It is a continuous process. It is a continuous. That's why after deployment process is also there. After deployment, the maintenance has to be there. Okay, so this is the actually data science works. Yeah, so are you getting that? Are you getting this? Whatever I am telling to you, actually, what I had told to you. So are you getting this? Just type yes, sir. Yeah, yes, yes. Thank you, Kalsh. Thank you, Shubham. Thank you, Abhishek. Yeah, Tony, Ankit. Thank you. Okay, so the next part is the main part. We'll move toward the main part. That is your Python for data science. What are the role of the Python in the data science, and what are the knowledge we require to get into the data science using the Python? Okay, so firstly, you require some basic knowledge of the Python. You require basic knowledge. So what are the variables? Then what is the data types in Python? What is the decision control structure, loop control structure, and then how to write a function, how to call the function, how to write a class. So that all the basic knowledge of the Python actually you should know. Some advanced knowledge also you should know, that is the how to handle the exception, how to read a file, how to write to the file. So that there's some basics and some advanced knowledge of the Python, you must know that. Okay, the next one is the Jupyter notebook. Actually, this is the tool that is the mostly widely used for developing a project for the data science. Okay, so Jupyter notebook, because it is having the inbuilt visualization. It runs on your browser. Any browser is fine. Chrome browser is mostly used. So on Chrome browser, actually, whatever the you are executing, whatever the commands you are executing, Python commands you are executing, the all the visualization is there in the that Chrome itself, in the browser itself. So it is a mostly widely used for the data visualization. Okay, for the data science. Okay, so this is the tool that has to be, you must know, for get into the data science for the Python. The next one is the Python for data analysis. Yes, the next one is after getting the basic knowledge of Python and use of the Jupyter notebook, you should start exploring some actually libraries that is being used in a data science. There are different libraries. I have categorized into the data analysis and the data visualization. So for data analysis, actually the NumPy and the Panda, these are the two libraries being mostly used. So NumPy is generally used for the your numeric analysis or mathematical operation. The NumPy is being used. It is generally the data in terms of the matrices, and to operate that matrices or to apply some mathematical operation on that matrices, the NumPy library is being used. And the Pandas actually generally used for the getting the data and the data cleaning and or the file operation. For file operation, actually Pandas plays a very wide role. Okay, so using the Pandas, we are reading the data and we are storing our data back to the file. Okay, so there are some these are the two main libraries are there. Two main libraries are there, and these two libraries are mostly used in data science. Okay, so the next library that has to be explored by you is the data visualization. Okay, the next one is the matplotlib. Okay, so matplot is the library generally used for the data visualization. So what you have cleaned the data, now you want the different graphs of that data. So that particular attributes data is going up or going down. So suppose hundreds of data or crores of data is there, and you want the plot, you want to plot of that data, you want the plot or graph of that data. So this matplotlib and the seaborn libraries, these are the mostly widely used for the data visualization. Okay, to understand your data, actually this plays a very vital role, matplotlib and the seaborn, because if you see only the data, numeric data, actually you don't know, you are not going to understand that what is that numeric data. Okay, but before af after seeing that numeric data, actually suppose if you plot that data in one of the graph, and if you see that graph, actually you better to understand that what is the pattern of that data. So to understand the patterns in that data, actually this data is mostly, these libraries are mostly used. Okay, so this library you have to uh, explore by yourself. The next one is the pandas. Okay, some built-in visualization is also there in a pandas library. Okay, you can also use that in for the data visualization. Some geographical plotting also there, that has to be also used for the data visualization. And very important thing is the some logical understanding for the data exploration. Okay, so this is the very good point that I can explain you, that if you don't have some logical understanding about the data, you can't understand your data. So what is the patterns? You must find out what are the patterns in that data. If you don't, if you can't see the patterns and if you can't understand the data, actually you can't select the proper model for your data. Okay, so that's why the logical reasoning is the very best, it is the very requirement for the making you as a data science. So that's why most companies are taking the aptitude testing, aptitude and the reasoning test for before get into the or before getting the job into that company. Okay, so your aptitude should be very good if you want to uh, do your data science engineering. Okay, so any doubts if you have, you can ask me. Actually, our companies are offering the internship also. If you want some internship, then you can visit this website gbsoftronics.com/internship, and you can explore, you can work with us also. Whatever the projects we are actually doing on the data science, actually we can explore that project with you also. Okay, so any doubt if you have, you can ask me. Yeah, actually this is all. Yeah, Divya Mani has asked me the question, sir, we want the practical implementation. Yes, you can have the practical implementation, but in a 1 hour, actually I can't explain you the practical implementation, because it requires the very uh, previous knowledge of the Python, Jupyter notebook, and some analysis part. Okay, so if you know the analysis part and the Python, then also you can start the practical implementation. Yeah, so any doubt if you have, you can ask your question in your chat window. I can answer you. So now 10 minutes Q&A session we will taking. Yeah, I'm waiting for you for the questions. So there are total 42 participants are there. Yeah, I'm going to share you this PPT with you. This will help you to understand the data science. Yeah, any questions? Because in every webinar we got, yeah, actually webinar is only for theoretical knowledge. Yeah, webinar is only for theoretical knowledge. The whatever the practical knowledge you are getting in the workshop. So practical implementation you are getting into the workshops. Webinar is the theory knowledge. Yeah, so it is just for the introduction of the particular topic. So if you want the practical knowledge, actually ask your coordinator to arrange such a workshops in your colleges, so that you can also get the detailed knowledge in a particular field. A geographical visualization, actually, yeah, I can explain you with the practical, but right now it is not the correct time to explore. But I can tell you that just go to the YouTube and search their geographical visualization. Okay, and Python, geographical visualization Python. You can get the best videos there, and you can easily understand that what is the how the geographical visualization can be implemented. Actually, the geographical plotting. The criteria for the internship is the actually you are in a second year. So actually it show you should be in a third year, at least third year or fourth year, at least third year or fourth year. Yeah, if you are in a fourth year, you can join our internship program. Third year and fourth year student can join our internship program. Yeah, just visit this website, you can get the all the information there. Yes, any other question? So Kaish Khan has asked me what the size of data lines and the file size you get to review before cleaning that takes you more than 3 days just to read it completely. Yes, actually to read, I'm not going to read all the data, but I am visualizing that data. I will be reading that data by using the some visualization technique. There are the different attributes. I think in that data more than 150 attributes are there. So I have to find out that which attributes are most important for my application, for my problem statement. So that's why I'm doing some probability that it is important or it is not important. What is the how much data is available in that particular attributes, it is fully filled. So that understanding the data require the 3 days. The lines and the file size is not matter. Actually the lines is nothing but the number of entries in your data. Generally the most of the data is in terms of the lakhs only. Okay, so lakhs of data is there, the lakhs of lines are there. The file size is nearly about the in kbs only. It is not in terms of mbs, it is in a kbs, or sometimes it is in mbs. Because all the data we are generally using that data is in terms of the CSV file, and CSV file is your text file, and text file size is not so much bigger. It is not in terms of GB. Yes. Okay, so any other question? Yeah, it is a paid internship where actually the free internship is for the pass out students. But for the students who are studying in fourth year or third year, actually for them actually there is a paid internship, because the training module is there and the fees is for training. Okay, so I have shared the PDF file for this presentation in the chat box. Hope you can download that PDF, or otherwise I can share this PDF after to your coordinator. They can also send this PDF to your WhatsApp group. Yeah, any other question? If you have a question, then ask me. Otherwise, Sapna madam.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if the students are not having any question, should we conclude the meeting?
Yeah, okay, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Kaish. Yes. Thank you, students, for attending the webinar. Actually, hope we'll meet you soon for the different workshops and the webinars. And if you have any question, my contact number and email address is given in my website gbsoftronics.com. You can visit that website, and my Facebook page is also there. You can visit there. You can WhatsApp me on from the web Facebook, from my Facebook page. Whatever the question, if you have any question regarding to your project, if you have regarding to your any career related uh, career related option, then actually you can ask me anytime. Okay.
Thank you, sir, for
Yeah,
giving some valuable information to our students.
yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so I'm ending the meeting now.